Welcome to the Zodiac chat line for our new moon in Taurus show. I am your host, Tanae, and of course, Cassie, the lovely Taurus rising co-host, always keeping it cute and nurturing with her Cancer energy, complimenting that Taurus rising. Hey, girl.
Hello, a happy
Hey,
Taurus
girl.
season to you and
You
to
know,
all
you
of
know,
us.
I was born from a Taurus, so I'm a love this season because it's my season too.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Aries season has ended, and we have found ourselves in the earthy groundedness of Taurus season. The world is still worlding, but we do have the sun has been residing in Taurus for just a couple of days, about a week, I think. We will have our new moon in Taurus on Sunday, April the 27th. It will be in conjunction with the sun. So that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful placement. Highly, highly recommend. You touch a lot of grass. You be outside. You plant some flowers. You do something. But it is a very, very luscious time to be with nature. We do have Mercury in Aries for just a little bit. But then it will move to Taurus on May the 10th. Venus is in Pisces for just a little bit longer because it will move into spicy Aries on April the 30th, just a couple days after the new moon. Mars is in Leo, more fire energy. Jupiter in Gemini. Saturn is in Pisces for just a little bit longer. It will move to Aries, but we will talk about that when that gets closer. Uranus is in Taurus with the sun and the new moon. Neptune is in Aries, still new and fresh. Interesting placement. Pluto is in Aquarius. However, Pluto's time to retrograde has come. And that will be on May the 4th, all the way till October 13th. So that is a very, I mean, it's normal, I think, for the outer planets to retrograde for quite some time, but just know Pluto will be retrograde for all of that. And the North Node, of course, is still in Pisces. We did have Pluto retrograde last year in Aquarius and back into Capricorn. And Cassie and I discussed the interesting parallels of how life was a year ago for all of us. You want to tell them about it?
Sure. So, yes, if you recall, uh, you know, Pluto finally moved into Aquarius and had its first retrograde in Aquarius last year, which was from May 2nd, excuse me, to September 1st of last year. So a lot was happening. And I think where I'm most struck by what happened with last year's retrograde and the last time ever in our lifetimes Pluto would be in Capricorn was from September 1st to November 26th of last year. And so what to me was really interesting was how from the Aquarius portion of that retrograde from May to September was when here in the US we had Donald Trump was on trial. He and Joe Biden had that absolutely horrific debate in June together. Joe Biden dropped out of the race. Vice President Harris became the nominee. That was really exciting. Tim Walz got chosen, all this stuff. And then we fumbled the bag as a collective for some of us, not you, not me, the these folks and a handful of others, but mostly us, fumbled the bag from the what could have been. And so in that period of October or September 1st, excuse me, to November 26th, the last little bit of Pluto and Capricorn, we got this election result that is so totally Pluto and Capricorn energy. and that we're now still having to deal with the fallout from. And it's going to take collectivism, the Aquarius of it all, to finally get rid of that. And I was thinking about that too, because we also talked about how America was founded at the end of a Pluto and Capricorn period. And America has always been built on this like individualism and this rugged like selfishness kind of. And I think we're just at a point where it doesn't
Work.
work. It doesn't work. It's not working. It's never worked for many people in this country. Most people in this country. It's only been recently where it's sort of worked for, a handful of us. But realistically, we're all in this together. And however much America and our Western society and our capitalism and our patriarchy wants to deny that, like, it doesn't change the reality that we are coexisting and are going to have to survive.
Cassie and I have been talking about the whole and the whole concept of Pluto and Aquarius and about community and collective. And more you are witnessing a lot of people really turn to their collective and their community. And this Pluto retrograde, I'm very interested to see how much collective action is taken in order to benefit the collective in the long run. And the reality of what Pluto's energy brings, because it is really Scorpio's ruler, which is death, rebirth, and transformation at the deepest level. This isn't a surface level transformation. A lot of Capricorn energy is surface in a lot of ways because it's focused on individual material gain. It's focused on like, being the best or like a material, a very,
Prestige
yeah,
and
a very
ego.
titles and everything like that. And Pluto and Aquarius in general kind of is like, I don't care about the title. Like, what kind of person are you beneath all of the glitz and the glamour and the Kardashian of it all? Because that's a lot of what we saw in the rise of Pluto and Capricorn. And now it's like the authenticity of people. Pluto and Aquarius is very real. It is a very get down to brass tacks. It is also a fixed sign like Scorpio. So again, this transformation has to be a conscious mind, a collective, like the collective consciously, their mind, because Aquarius is an air sign. And so there's a lot of thought behind what this change needs to be. And so this retrograde, I think, will have a lot of us reflecting on what kind of America or what kind of community or what kind of collective we actually want to live in. Because a lot of us know that it's not hatred, it's not discrimination, it's not racism, and it's not being shat on by the 1%. It is watching our children be able to live on a planet that is sustainable. It is us being able to afford groceries. It is us being able to, take care of our elder parents as they age. It is doing the things that we should all do. It is us being able to enjoy life as a collective. And we have always said this, and I think this is one of our themes of the Zodiac Chat and I, it's either all of us or none of us. And this Pluto and Aquarius period, this Pluto and Aquarius retrograde period will definitely, I think, be a very interesting catalyst for what is to come. So we will, of course, revisit this conversation later, but just keep in mind, once this retrograde start, just witness what's happening, keep taking notes because that's what we do. And what can you do during this? How is your consciousness going to change? How is your collective doing the work to help us all? Because there is more of us than there is of them. I'm going to keep repeating what Shani said because my girl is right. Okay. She's right. And we love her. Um, and as Cassie was saying, a year ago during Pluto retrograde, there was a lot of conflict going on, a lot of interesting, including the abortion ban. There was a TikTok ban. There was a lot going on. Um, Even a rap beef. I mean that like there was a lot going on, and now we see a different form of a lot of conflict. And Pluto, this isn't going to be pretty. I don't want anybody to think this is going to be roses and daisies. And that is not what Pluto energy does. Pluto energy comes to fuck shit up and burn. It is tearing to the ground. If you look at the tarot, Pluto is the death card. Sometimes it's known as the tower. Like those are cards that bring instant and not necessarily of your own volition transformation on a deep, remember this, guys, deep level. This is not a surface level transformation. This is going to take a lot of work, but when you do things at the deepest level, it tends to be a much more helpful transformation, I guess. But if you got eighth house placements, you've already felt this. It just be
Right.
like that, right? It just be like that.
Got a lot of
Um,
Scorpio placements, maybe.
oh, that too. That too. If you got eighth house or Scorpio placements, you already know. Especially if you have a moon in Scorpio, I know you know. I know y'all know. And I pray for y'all. I really do, because that's an intense placement. But I just, reflect on what Pluto and Capricorn was for you, and realizing like what you want Pluto and Aquarius to be. Um, and then with the Venus moving back into Aries, like try to, I don't know. That's it's a tough placement for Venus.
It is, and it is not a comfortable place, and because we had this like Venus retrograde period, we're now revisiting kind of what was going on, especially in our relationships in the beginning of March, and you may be able to find some, like, if there's any unresolved issues, you may find some resolution over the next few weeks, or look toward finding solutions where you may not have had access to them, or you've had to kind of go through this period of reevaluation the past few weeks. And yes, and soon Venus will be in Taurus, and that's a very cute, happy place for Venus to be. So look forward to that. Try not to
I
fuck anybody up.
Well, um, and this new moon, it does have a lot of fixed energy with it, with it opposing Pluto, with Pluto opposing Mars in Pluto and Aquarius opposing Mars and Leo, with the sun and the moon all in Taurus, all of that fixed energy,
And Uranus.
and Uranus. A lot of things will conflict may arise, but the best things about the challenging aspects of planets is that it gives you room to grow and learn, and it's always for your highest good. It's really easy to get those conjunct and sextile planets because it's easy, but it does challenge when you get the squares and the opposition, and it causes something within you to have to grow. And I think that that's been a collective thought for a long time, is that we have to grow. Where we were is no longer working at all.
Yeah.
So even in your own personal life, just really take stock on that, and use this weekend and this new moon to really just plant some solid roots, and find beauty in the places that you least expect it, because Taurus rules the second house. It does rule what we value, but Taurus does love some beautiful stuff. And if you can find some good food, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Even
It
better.
yeah, it's a great time for, and I think that's exactly right, Tanae. Like, with all of the squares and the inevitable, like, conflicts you're going to feel within your own self, with yourself in position to what's going on in the collective, within the collective, like, set intentions around, like, hey, sit with your discomfort, think
Mm-hmm.
about what lessons are there, and set intentions around creating growth in that, and strongly co-sign your go out and be in the earth. This is a great new moon for planting. New moons in general are good for
Mm-hmm.
planting. If you live in a warmer place or you've been starting seeds indoors, I think the new moon in Taurus is also a good time to thin your seedlings, right? Like make sure you're not doing too much. Aries season, so you're always doing a lot. So, just focus on doing the right amount of growth, but it's a strong time to be
Mm-hmm.
growing literally things and the earth, and then metaphorically things within yourself. So,
Listen, be growing and be grounded because a lot of what's happening can knock you off your feet, like knock you off of that stability. And the one thing about Taurus is they're gonna stand their motherfucking ground. Okay, they're gonna be where they're gonna be. So take advice from that and really plant something really solid and long term and be able to nurture that. And that's the other thing about the Taurus energy and the Taurus new moon is that, you know, I was speaking to somebody earlier and I asked her, I was like, oh, what are you looking forward to? And she was like, I planted a garden. I'm just so excited for things to bloom. And that's the type of energy that you want to bring into this new moon in Taurus is planting seeds and excited to continue to nurture them because you can't just throw them out there and be like, hope you hope for the best. But actually nurture them. And that is not just the sizzle, not just the physical seeds, but we're also talking about like metaphorical seeds because that's what our intention settings are doing. And so find some good grounding, get outside, touch the earth because she loves you. You should love her. Now we get to the fun part because we love some Taurus celebrities here at the
mm.
Zodiac Chat Line. This is a Taurus Stan account. Even if y'all don't watch, we are. Shout out to all the Tauruses. Before we even get started, shout out to all the Tauruses that we know. We know it's your season. Happy solar return. There you go. Your own little shout out. Anyways, Tessie, who do you want to start with?
All right, I am going to start with an icon of the silver screen. Um, One of my early film, like, do I want to be you? Am I in love with you? I don't know. I'm feeling confused, but I'm obsessed with you. And that is Michelle Pfeiffer. As Catwoman,
Uh,
an icon, Scarface, Dangerous Minds, like an excellent, filmography, and seemingly, a pretty badass chick. She is 66 years old. I guess I was Googling, what's the newest headline about her? And she was like, the headline that came up from a couple days ago was like her going ham on some workout and asking for advice on Instagram. And I'm just like, you're hardcore because you're a Taurus. And I love that for you. And just all of the Taurus celebrities that we are going to discuss share the just extraordinary beauty of Tauruses and Libras both ruled by Venus. Like they're undeniably gorgeous people. And Michelle Pfeiffer is one of those. We love her. So Michelle Pfeiffer, happy solar return to
Shout
you.
out. All right. Well, this next ATL native that we're going to be kicking it with is a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, actress. Um, she has written for a lot of people. I mean, and some of the best songs that you've still to this day are jams that slap. She's written for Ariana Grande, Destiny's Child, Pink, Ed Sheeran, and of course, TLC, famously, No Scrubs Grammy. She was the first female Masked Singer winner because that is one of my uh what is it, guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures. Same.
Um and of course she's been an actress. She is the longest Real Housewives of Atlanta peach. 13 seasons. I am talking about none other than Candy Burris. Yeah, if you don't know who she is, you don't know music. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that because she is awesome. She also had I think a bedroom like a adult female, adult women's, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, like Bedroom by Candy or something. I think it was like lingerie or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Uh, Listen, a tourist gonna get a bag. That's it. But again, singer, songwriter, amazing songwriter, has still writes for people to this day. And like Ed Sheeran, you're like, whoa. I mean, that lady, she got hits on hits on hits. She can just pick up her pen and make some. I need a little check. Let me write a song real quick.
I love I love a female songwriter
Hmm.
because it is so like low key disappointing when you like a song a woman sings and you find out like Diplo wrote it. You're like, what the fuck? Like I don't know, that sucks. But it's like to find out Ed Sheeran's song was written by Candy Burris, that's sick.
A win is
I
a
love
win.
that.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
That's awesome. Um that's a very yeah, that's fucking good for her. Okay.
Hmm.
So my next Taurus celebrity is, I love the lady rappers. I gotta have at least one. I was gonna check in with two. I narrowed it down to one this time. Um, she is America's favorite goth girl rapper. A badass, just cool, very unique, very uh different sounding than anybody else in the game, and that is Rico Nasty. She has done tracks with Megan Thee Stallion, with Doechii, with Doja Cat. Like her solo work is great, and I love her embodiment of the like I'm gonna be scary, but in a like horror movie kind of cheeky way. And she's super cool and is out here just doing a ton of shows and is gonna be at the oh my god, somebody called it the millennial geriatric
Shut up.
millennial like
Stop it.
like fucking uh festival Riot Fest. So she's playing with like Green Day and Blink 182 and Alkaline Trio and like just like I love it. I love you. She's the only female rapper on the lineup, and you know what? Fuck yeah, you are.
And
So
she gonna have them
she's gonna have
jumping up and
crowds,
down. Hmm.
big crowds. Yep, I'm here for all of it. Um, Cross genre blending, cool. Check her out if you've not listened to her. She's fabulous.
And continuing with that theme of singers and songwriters, the next celebrity I'm going to check in with is this was one of the most interesting facts. She has over 100 number ones on the Billboard chart. That's a lot. But she was, of course, the only and the original American Idol. Has her own talk show. She has won Country American Academy Country Awards, American Music Awards, Daytime Emmy Awards, and a Grammy Award winner. So many awards that she has a link to her list of awards. That's how many. She was nominated. No bullshit. That's how many she was nominated for and won. There's a whole article just on award. Like, you gotta be a badass motherfucker just to have that much. But I am talking about Kelly Clarkson, of course. We watched, we see her daytime talk show. She made the lesbians go a little crazy because she was singing I think it was just I Like My Girls a Little Older. I'm not sure what song that is, but she like winked and listen, the lesbians had they whole little, and she's like, I mean, if I was gay, and I was like, girl, I know if you was gay, you'd be gay, but bless your soul. But then she was like talking to Jennifer Beals and kind of hit on her, and Jennifer Beals was like, I was like, girl, don't get it started. You gonna get them sweating. But Kelly Clarkson, she's just a great mom. She's just an all around like, you know, from Texas, but you can just feel her through the screen. And that woman can sing anything. And I mean anything. She has done so many people's covers that people are like, y'all need to get her to stop doing your covers because she's doing them better than you are. But again, Taurus, they can sing. Okay. You can, a lot of people with Taurus energy are singers. Look at your charts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're going to come to we're going to do the grand finale first. Or you want to do the honorable mention first?
We'll do the grand finale
Okay.
first. Yeah.
So we here love this human. I mean, like, I love, I mean, she's just, she's so stunning. She's an Atlanta native, started off as a songwriter, and she has written for Ariana Grande, Chloe and Halle, Fifth Harmony, Chris Brown, Nas, Brandy, Blackpink. She just did a guest spot with Megan Thee Stallion at Coachella. Again, the lesbians. What? She her daughter is the youngest Grammy Awards nominee, Hazel. She has got won Grammys herself. Last year, she just won Best New Art. Or yeah, last year she was best. Maybe it was this year, Best New Artist. Singer songwriter, of course, the fabulous Victoria Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I turned Cassie on, and Cassie ain't never turned back
Nope.
because that girl is fire. Okay.
Yeah. I believe she was my most listened to artist last year on my Spotify Wrapped. Listened to a lot of Victoria Monet last year. Zero regrets. Love her. Now every time I listen to a song that she wrote, I'm like, she probably would have sang this better. Like, I love Seven Rings by Ariana Grande.
Oh,
Love her version
such
of
a
it.
good.
Great song. But I'm like, I wonder what Victoria would have done with this though. Like, I bet it would have been really fire. Like, I just want to hear it. And she like self-funded her own first
Mhm.
tour again. And one thing I love about a Taurus is they are willing to bet on themselves.
Mhm.
And that is energy we can all take with us in Taurus season. Bet on yourself. It doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. I think that's a little bit of shadow Taurus energy, honestly, is like not asking for help and, whatever. But betting on yourself, believing in yourself, that is light Taurus energy. And she did that. And she has said it was hard and she gave up the lifestyle that a lot of people would have chosen had they been in her position and been a pretty successful singer songwriter. They would have spent money on the cars and the homes and all that. And instead, she spent her money to put herself on tour, opening for Ariana Grande. And that was the right move.
And sold out her tour. Like,
Yeah.
you'll never get a cheap ticket to her seats anymore. Like, I'm mad that I
No.
missed that. I was like, damn.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, a 10,000% bet on yourself, bet on Victoria Monet because she's a winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Facts.
So we're gonna just hit a quick honorable mention. And again, we love everybody at the Zodiac Chatline, but we are very women focused here. So this man gets a little bit of an honorable mention spotlight just because of what he did. And what he did was peak Taurus energy. He stood and did the longest running speech in U.S. Senate history, broke somebody else's record. We ain't even gonna mention that person, but he spoke for 25 hours and 5 minutes to protest the current administration. And he broke the record from somebody who was trying to filibuster the Civil Rights Act of 1957, which means that if that filibuster had worked, that meant Senator Cory Booker could not even be on the floor. But luckily it didn't. So he's been our sitting senator for the state of New Jersey since 2013. That was some intense Taurus energy using his throat chakra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thousand
Yeah.
percent.
Mm-hmm. And just stubborn as fuck. Not gonna shut the fuck up till I break that vile racist record. And I'm here for that energy. Senator Booker, salute you.
Mm-mm. All right, find us on the socials. We don't want to tell you. I mean, you know where they are.
We've
We
told you.
yeah,
You're
you know where they
here
are.
now.
Yeah.
Find it. Find us
So we're
on
going to move
other
on to the
places.
really important because it is Taurus season, and this is the most beautiful deck ever. If I can get it together, because
There you go. There you
the
go.
Divine Feminine Megan Watterson Oracle. If you want to be spiritual, she has a book called Reveal, Getting Spiritually Naked. Great book. Again, deep transformation. Whenever you're ready, girlfriend, whenever you're ready.
Oh, Taurus, Venus energy. Let's go.
Of course. We have Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I think that is
Oh,
absolutely correct. We need some laughter here. The world is whirled in.
a little too worlding
The
right
world
now.
is
So I'm
whirling.
happy. I'm receiving this message.
All right, here
Lighten
we
up a
go.
little.
And action. Okay, this is you guys can just see the, okay, here we go. Lolita represents the spontaneity that graces a heavy moment and reminds us that joy is a powerful spiritual practice. Lolita Tripuri Sundari is a Hindu deity known as the Red Goddess because of her connection to desire. She's often depicted sitting on a lotus with 16 petals, known as the fulfiller of all desires. She's holding a golden bow that represents the mind and the 5 golden arrows that represent the 5 senses. In the ancient devotional text dedicated to her, the Lalita Sanhasram, I'm not going to pronounce that right, is a list of her 1,000 names that fulfills all the desires of a devotee simply through its recitation. One of Lalita's many names is She Who Plays. The Sanskrit word Lila means divine play. Lalita loves when her devotees are able to move beyond dualities to the point where we are not separate from what we desire. She loves puja or ritual worship for this reason, because it moves us out of our ideas and thoughts of the divine and into our hearts, where we can experience the divine directly. Lolita is known for her spontaneity and liberating her devotees with joy. She's the consciousness that comes when we get so caught up in taking ourselves seriously that we forget the profound, simple pleasures like sunlight on our face or the taste of a ripe strawberry. She's the delicious moment when we remember that we don't have to take everything, especially ourselves, so seriously. We don't have to be perfect or know the right mudras or yoga poses or chant for hours on end. What's divine is inherent in us. It's remembered, not learned. When your soul selects this card, answers arrive from disengaging with the energy that created the problem or question to begin with. We so often hold tight to what we desire with a grip that actually inhibits it from arriving. And we often take the soul by the collar and demand to know an answer right now. But when a desire is an imperative, there is an inability to be playful, imaginative, and childlike with how and when that desire will arrive. The secret to desire is holding it lightly. The secret that the red goddess knows is that we already have everything we desire. We can trust that what the soul craves is and always has been ours. This is the levity that sparks a shift, a change, an expansion. This is the moment that we remember we are not separate from what we desire or from the divine. Lolita is that brilliant moment in a fight between lovers or friends when suddenly someone mispronounces a word and both crack up laughing. She's the levity that comes when we loosen our death-like grip on what we think we desire. She is the gorgeous, much needed reminder that but we don't have to suffer our way to what we want most. The path to what we desire and to becoming the soul we need to be in order to receive it can be paved with joy, with divine play, and with a sacred process of lightening up along the way. The soul voice meditation. How can I add more playfulness into my life right now? The intention is playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to light.
Yes.
Look at her. She is like, I want y'all to see that. Look at that.
Yes.
This is Taurus. She is peak
She's getting a
Taurus
little.
energy. She is giving peak Taurus energy right now. I think that is an amazing message for Taurus season, for the rest of this year, really. Laughter and levity. Yes, we are in some heavy, heavy times, but we have to take the little joys that we can. We cannot let let our joy be stolen. Do not let them steal your joy. Do not let them steal your peace. Do not let them steal your playfulness. Allow yourself the levity to just enjoy the life that you have created.
Boom.
And with that said, we hope you have a wonderful Taurus season. Enjoy the new moon on Sunday, the 27th. If you want to do some intentions, it's a great time to do that. Again, touch some grass, roll around in it, put your hands in some good earth, plant a seed, metaphorically and physically. Nurture it, nurture yourself, plant some seeds within yourself and your collective. Cassie, I love you, girl.
I love you, my
We
friend.
will see y'all when we see y'all. It's all love, and we out of here. Peace.